Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach in that Ruel today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, Shalom. So basically, this is going to just be a quick lesson. As you see, I have this article queued up on the screen, which is off of France24.com. Okay, and we know, lately, more and more in the news, the whole situation with the U.S. and Israel, okay, invading or by the way of airstrikes, okay, and about to the point deploying troops, okay, when it comes to the whole war, okay, with Iran, okay, for the past, going on 3 weeks now, okay, when it comes to ever since America, mainly Trump, I see Trump decide to attack Iran on behalf of Israel, okay, which more and more coming out that the airstrikes was not constitutional, okay, they didn't go by Congress, okay, to validate the strikes, to confirm it, or go to war with Iran, okay. And ever since then, the retaliation, okay, Iran has been shooting they missiles, okay, all they certain missiles, okay, into Israel, okay, Tel Aviv, okay, certain U.S. embassies over there, okay, in the Middle East, what they would call Middle East, okay, or Western Asia or Minor Asia, okay, and the effect has come to the point that, okay, a lot of the U.S. embassies are being destroyed, okay, over there in like Kuwait, Qatar, okay, near, also near Saudi Arabia, okay, when it comes to the Arab states, okay, that has been allies with America, okay, when they got U.S. embassies over there, and America, okay, once again, feeling the worst after they decide to attack Iran, okay, now it's to the point that Trump, okay, didn't respect the retaliation to be this harsh, be so fierce, okay, cause Trump, when he first attacked Iran, okay, he's saying that he's only gonna take about 2 weeks for Iran to surrender, excuse me, and that America gonna help aid Israel and take Iran down, okay, but now it's going on 3 weeks, and now to the point that Trump saying that this war can prolong, okay, when it comes to about going into months, okay, and now to the point that more and more news, alternative news, okay, coming out that Iran got the upper hand, okay, that a lot of the embassies over there in the Middle East of the U.S. is being destroyed, man. Okay, you got the talks of BB, okay, not BB, what his name, I always had a hard time saying his name, but the Prime Minister for Israel, okay, BB, not with the Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu, okay, talks of it down, he might be, going to the spiritual realm. A lot of AI videos are coming out of him, okay, but when it comes to BB, okay, he's not really showing himself, okay, but a lot of news coming out that, that the Iranians, okay, they confirmed that they got him, okay, when it comes to, the airstrikes, okay, not keep it like that, okay, but also, when it comes to the lately, when it comes to the Strait of the Hormuz, okay, a known business conducting area, okay, over there in Iran, in the Middle East, okay, that Iran is blocking certain aid, mainly oil, okay, from America and NATO, okay, the allies of America, okay, when it comes to the EU and NATO, okay, and now that Iran, starting to get more of a stronghold into the war, okay, against the Israelis and in America, okay, now Trump is asking for aid, okay, or help, okay, from the NATO nations, okay, and now they responded that, hey, we ain't gonna help you, you Americans, okay, or the America or the Trump decision, okay, when it comes to him invading Iran or going to war with Iran, okay, basically saying that the war is on upon y'all, okay, upon you, Trump, and your people or your country, okay, when it comes to your military, okay, that you want to decide to help aid Israel, okay, to fight against the Iranians, okay, and that's all biblical prophecy, man, okay, when it comes to the division amongst Esau and Edom, okay, when it comes to America and the EU and NATO, okay, which eventually we know that it is going to be a third world war, and we're in the stages of it, because eventually all these nations are going to get involved, okay, such as the likes of Russia, China, North Korea, okay, aiding Iran, coming against the West over here in America, okay, and Israel, and when it comes to American allies, certain of their allies turning on them, okay, when it comes to the NATO members, okay, and like I say, so the Hamas, being blockaged by Iran, not having, America not having access to it, and Israel and certain European countries not receiving oil and certain resources, okay, that's causing a domino effect of prices going up over here in the West, okay, when it comes to gas prices, okay, and certain import trades, man, okay, or export trades, man, from these other nations that's not, dealing with America, okay, mainly the Iranians, when it comes to Hamas, man, okay, now to the point Trump threatened that he's going to take matters in his own hand, take it by force, okay, and this article was a couple of days ago, okay, going on 4 days ago, quick article, as you can see, Donald Trump says we'll open the Strait of Hamas one way or another. Okay, so now he wants countries to come together and demand Iran to stop the blockage. Okay, mainly relying on the NATO allies, man. Okay, and other countries. Okay, but now these countries to the point, these other nations, okay, like I see even amongst NATO, saying that you got to deal with the situation. Okay, you wanted to take matters in your own hand, evade or strike Iran on his own. Okay, so now you got to deal with it. Okay, you and the Israelis. Okay, and you see it says President Donald Trump has threatened to get the Strait of Hamas open one way or another. He called on a number of countries, including France, United Kingdoms. Okay, France, the United Kingdom is part of NATO. Okay, which NATO means North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Okay, and it says in China. Okay, now even to China. Okay, which we know China is going to be one of the enemies. Okay, of America coming against this place in the Third World War, right along with Russia. Okay, they're going to side with Russia and the Iranians. Okay, but even now, okay, he trying to rely on China. Okay, because China is one of the big consuming superpowers, okay, or country when it comes to the economy or global economy and trades, okay. But all these nations starting to, more and more, how can I say, more and more distancing themselves from the relationships, okay, from America, okay, due to Trump's actions. Now to the point Trump said he'll take matters in his own hand, showing the pride of Esau Edom, okay, which we know all this is the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, leading to the Third World War. And we know that these the elites, these central bankers have an agenda to bring an NWO, okay, starting with a global financial crash and introducing a new system when it comes to the RFID micro, which is the mark of the beast in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, that's about to be implemented, okay? Everything's going digital and getting rid of the physical dollar, okay? That's why you're seeing inflation, hyperinflations, and prices going up, okay? Trade wars, okay? Sanctions, okay? Tariffs, okay? That especially Trump putting on these countries, such as the likes of the EU and NATO, okay? They own allies, man, okay? Trump talking about seizing Greenland, he already invaded Venezuela. Now talking about going into Cuba, taking over Cuba, okay? Thought the same thing about Iran, okay? But it, backfired, okay? And it's more difficult than he thought, okay? And it says the United Kingdom and China to send ships to the area to overcome Iran's blockage on the fertile trade artery. It come as global oil supplies are skyrocketing and gas, energy, okay, over here in America, okay. All prices, okay, all trades and consuming, okay, is about to go up, man, okay. And it says, and supply continues to be strangled with Iran blockage, the Strait, and targeting the Gulf energy infrastructure in a retaliation to U.S. strikes. Details by Liza Hubert. Okay, so once again, man. Okay, this is all biblical prophecy toward this place. Okay, about to go down, because eventually this place is going to be destroyed at the peak of the Third World War by thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, led by the way of Russia. Okay, and and also the EU or NATO, certain members of the NATO armies or allies of America that's going to turn on this place and shoot their missiles upon this place. Okay, bringing this place to its total destruction at the peak of the Third World War. And during that time, that's when who the world ignorantly called Christ, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, is going to return by the way of the chariots, what the world called UFOs, okay, to intervene in the Third World War, okay. And at the peak of it, Yahweh Shai is going to intervene, come with the chariots, okay, bring war against these nations' armies, and by the way of fire, okay, 2nd Esdras chapter 13, Revelation chapter 12, okay, scriptures such as that, Revelation 19 and 11, okay, and during the time of Yahweh Shai returning, Yahweh Shai only going to deliver the elect from out of that great destruction, okay, when it comes to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, of the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved, okay, and simultaneously the missiles going to be launched to destroy this place and also the land of Israel, okay. And the difference between the two, America and Israel, okay, America going to be destroyed and never going to be inhabited again by mankind, okay, and become a desert. And the only thing that's going to inhabit this place is desert-like creatures. But the land of Israel going to be cleansed by the way of the missiles, okay, just for us, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, to inherit our land again, starting with the elect, okay, because 2/3 at this time going to be destroyed, okay, here in America, okay, for not receiving the truth and not repenting, and not acknowledging Yahweh Shema Shai, their power, okay. And once Yahweh Shai delivered the elect, and after the the aftermath of the Third World War, eventually Yahushua is going to descend the elect here on the earth, and Yahushua is going to establish the kingdom. Okay, and that's going to lead to also the elites of Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations that remained after the Third World War. Okay, as they're going to be in their retreats or be reserved. Okay, they're going to go into captivity. Okay, in our kingdom. Okay, they're going to be gathered together. Okay, gather up to serve us. Okay, when it comes to the nation of Israel, when it comes to Yahushua rulership here on the earth, and they're going to build our kingdom. Okay, and the 2/3 that perish on the side, they're going to come back in the kingdom being sons and daughters of the elect. Okay, but the heathen nations here, okay, starting with the Edomites, the American Edomites, and these heathen nations that's over here, okay, ain't no salvation for them. Okay, they're going to be destroyed, and they're going to have to come back in the kingdom through their bloodline. Okay, like I say, because you're going to have heathen nations being reserved, starting with the elites for captivity, and they're going to, and the heathens that perish on this side, they're going to come back in the kingdom, being they offspring to be service unto us, man. Okay, for 1,000 years. Okay, the first 1,000 years of the kingdom, because our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom. Okay, under Yahushua, Yahushua, and after that 1,000 years, the only nation that's going to be done away with as a whole are the biblical Edomites. Okay, getting to the point, sum it all up, the times that we're in. Okay, as we're approaching the times of the Third World War, and the RFID micro that's got to be implemented. Okay, and mainly when the RFID micro is implemented, okay, that's where we expect more and more. Okay, the great judgment of this place, America. Okay, the RFID micro got to be implemented first, because those of our people that take it, right along with these heathens, they're gonna perish. Okay, when it comes to the 2/3, man. Okay, according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. Okay, those that take it, they're gonna be destroyed by the way of the missiles and the chariots when it comes to the fire. Okay, so the RFID micro got to be implemented first before the missiles can be launched. Okay, but seeing these wars and rumors of wars, okay, signs, okay, we know that we that close, okay, to Yahushua returning. Okay, and the Third World War about to start, more and more intensified. Okay, but before that, this place about to witness civil unrest, division, race wars, class wars, famine, pestilence, martial law, natural disasters, detention centers, concentration camps, okay, etc., man, when it comes to the Lord's judgment upon this place, man. It ain't gonna get no better for this place, man. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into the scriptures. So now you're seeing Trump asking for help for certain NATO members, even outside of their allies, their enemies, such as China, to help, trying to, get the Iranians to stop the blockage of the Straits of Hormuz, okay, for bringing in, oil and supplies, okay, when it comes to this over here in the West, okay, resources, man, okay. So this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7, and it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that had eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Okay, and at this time, all the nations that were once part of, doing dealings with America, okay, now they starting to turn their back on America. Okay, dropping the dollar. Okay, got nations now joining into the BRICS nations, the BRICS economy. Okay, when it comes to Brazil, Russia, okay, China, India, and South Africa. Okay, Russia being the head of it, and China when it comes to that digital, financial format. Okay, of them not dealing with the dollar. Okay, which their system gonna lead to a digital currency as well, a digital format. Cause everything's going cashless. Okay, under the rule of the elites of Esau, Edom, and AI and technocracy. Okay, but it's just what country gonna be the lead of it? Okay, trying to be the head of that digital format, okay, which all the elites is in control of all nations, man, okay. But America's about to get the worst of it, okay, as we're at this place more and more being brought down, headed towards downfall, and nations start to come against this place, America, okay. Even Americans over here, civil unrest and division, okay. These American Edomites, okay, ready to come against their own government, okay. But you starting to see that, okay, that these nations starting to look and see that the West is the problem, okay, especially when it comes to Trump, okay, and also those small hats, man, okay. Let me see. Let me get this. They get through their pride, man. They think that they ain't gonna fall, man. Okay. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked through the pride of his conscience will not seek after Yahweh Bashmal Shai. Yahweh Bashmal Shai is not in all his thoughts. Okay, that's going into Esau Edom. Okay. Especially these elites on down to the lesser luminary ones that doing their bidding. Okay. Hey, because Yahweh Bashmal Shai ain't dealing with them. Okay, when it comes to righteousness. Okay, although they portray themselves, okay, to a certain extent, that they are God's favorite people, okay, they the Lord's chosen, okay, mainly those small hats, okay, but now we're coming to the point in the exposure of Esau Edom that they are the wicked, okay. Now it's coming to the point that they don't uphold the law, statutes, and commandments here in America, okay. The Bible is not the law of the land, okay, and everything they're doing now, they want to get rid of the existence of the God of the Bible and come with their own God-like complex, you know, when it comes to the AI, their technology, okay? And it says, his ways are always grievous, thy judgment are far above out of his sight. For all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Okay, these elites, man. Okay, in particular here in America, they think they'll never be taken down, man, due to their vast military. Okay, when it comes to the sword, okay, the blessing of Esau Edom, the sword, okay, which the Lord gave them, okay. He puffed at all his enemies, especially here in America. For years, America always been known to be on the offense of war, invading, okay, spreading a military out, U.S. embassies, okay, throughout different parts of the region of the earth, okay. But now they're being weakened as other countries are becoming more stronger. Joel, the 3rd chapter, okay. And it says, he saith in his heart, I shall never be moved, and for I shall never be in adversity. Okay, and that's their mind frame. These elites on down. Okay, even over here in America, even though they seeing things, okay, these American Edomites feeling the squeeze and feeling the downfall of this place. Okay, but they figure that, you know, America gonna bounce back or gonna prosper. They're just going through certain turbulence. Okay, long as we got to get Trump out the way. Okay, all before Biden was a problem. Okay, he was the cause of the downfall of America. Trump, we got to trust in MAGA and Trump making America great again. Now look how Trump doing. Even then, more and more worse. Okay, how idiotic he is and how he moving through their pride, man. Okay, but now these American Edomites, okay, you know, thinking that somehow this place gonna bounce back. Okay, and you got some of them knowing that, man, they're gonna take war here on the shores of America. Okay, civil unrest, civil war. Okay, but it's all leading to the downfall of Esau Edom. Okay, starting with the elites, eventually on down to the average Edomite. Okay, especially these American Edomites. Okay, let's get this and I'll get ready to close. Now the Lord said He's gonna send fanners. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 2. And I will send unto Babylon, okay, which Babylon, okay, America is known as spiritually Babylon in the scriptures. Okay? And I will send unto America or Babylon fanners that shall fan her. Okay? Because back in the ancient days, when you light a kindle a fire or start a fire, you had a fan. Okay? You wave it, okay, amongst the fire to increase the fire. Okay? To increase the spark, the fire. And that's what the Lord is doing now in the form of bringing these plagues and the downfall of this place, man. Okay, so everything will get more intensified here in this place of America. Okay, and also leading to the time of Jacob trouble for you tribes, man. You Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay, when all hell break loose, man. Okay, and only the Lord only going to deliver the elect from out of those trials and tribulations. And it says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about, and eventually this place of America being destroyed by the way of thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay? And so the fanners, the heat, turning up more and more. And literally, okay, this place about to get heated by missiles. Okay? But right now, you know, we coming to the stages of the Jacob's trouble, the coming of the RFID micro being implemented in the process, martial law, concentration camps, detention centers, a financial crash, civil unrest, okay, uproars of the people, okay, famine, pestilence, okay, when it comes to the plagues that Yahweh Shema Shah bringing on this place, man, okay, and the ultimate plague, once again, the missiles and the chariots bringing fire, which is going to lead to Yahweh Shah's salvation of the elect of the nation of Israel, and eventually the kingdom being established, and Esau, Edom, and these heathens, okay, being taken out of power, man, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end the lesson here. And I'll pray that the lesson will edify until next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.